Hello. Welcome back to the Palooka Watch channel. Your happy Palooka. It's another watch. This is the Detroit Mint Willard Homage. All right, we're going to get into this. I'll show you some tight shots in a moment compared to the Seiko, new Seiko version, and a turtle because, wrist check here, right? It's my bronze steel dive Willard Homage. But is it really? Is it really? Because when you look at the details on this, and then you think about the details from the Willard, which this is much closer. This is a much more closer representation of the 1969-70 Willard watch. We call it the Willard because of Apocalypse Now and Martin Sheen wearing that watch. 6105 Seiko. A lot of companies have been making this. And the thing is they've been putting a flat crystal on it, right? And a bunch of other things that actually make this really more of a turtle. So I brought my turtle as well to show you that. And we'll get into all that. But I just wanted to point out a few things here. And I think I'll put it on the wrist right now, real quick. And I'll show you this detail in finer detail in a moment. By the way, I just threw this piece of leather behind the watch as a leather bund here. I've got leather coming from Chris Lehman, and once that gets here, I have leather scrap, but he's sending me bison hide, and I'll be making some of that. But the bronze can turn your skin green if you're sweating, and so I thought this is the perfect case to have a leather bund behind it. All right, let's see if I can get this on quick enough for you here. It's a nice overcast day here in LA. Feels good. One of the things I noticed is these little keepers on here. If you put this watch on and they're all the way down, you can't move them. You got to slide them up first. I say that, and then I didn't do it. Maybe I didn't do it so I could show you. Oh man, one of them slid down again. I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's a thing. Because the rubber, rubber up against itself creates a little bit of friction. And it makes it kind of tough. Which reminds me of something funny I want to talk about in another video. People seem to like my video from yesterday. Here it is. Now the neat thing about this is, and I'll show this to you in a tighter detail with a flatter background so you can see it better. This wears on the wrist closer to what the original did because of how thin this band is. It is a 20 millimeter lug, and I'll show this to you in a moment, but this lug instantly tapers from 20 mil down to whatever this is, 18, 19. So maybe we'll try to measure that for you. But there it is, the Detroit Mint. Seiko 6105 Homage. Hang on a second, let's get into this. All right, so as you can see, this watch comes in a case here that will hold 3 watches, which I did bring 2 more watches in here we're going to get to because we want to compare the details. Yeah, the lining is really nice. It's going to actually clean your watch as you take it in and out. Nice detail from Detroit Mint. Now, I haven't spoken yet this morning, so my voice is all over the place, but I'm telling you, so far, this is the closest Homage watch I've found. All right, I'm wearing the Mr. Tick mountain bike gloves, silk screen by my pal Chad. So what Detroit Mint got right on this compared to these others is it's got a domed crystal on it. See that? You'll also notice that there is a bevel to the end of the coin edge here at the top of it there. There is a raised pip I'm not crazy about, but that's fine. And they also, we'll get a better zoom, but I can't do that with these gloves. I just put these gloves on for you guys because it's funny to me. I'm having fun with this watch thing. Can you tell? So, let's zoom this in here. Check out the hands. They have a flat top to them, and then it bevels on either side. That's something that the original Seiko hands had. Looks like there's still fingerprints on this. Applied indices. Frame around the date window. Blue AR, that's anti-reflective coating. They call this the Detroit Islander. You can see in the bottom, limited 6105 edition. So really, really telling you straight up, you know, this is what it is. You can see the bevel at the edge of the sapphire crystal. Again, the bevel on the edge of the coin edge on the bezel edge there. And you can see the dome clearly right here. Nicely polished case. Again, the cushion case design Seiko's known for. They're saying 200-meter water resistance. I believe it. Screw back down case there. So I think a beautiful watch. I've been wearing this at night in my pad. Again, you can see right here. You see that taper? So it's 20 mil between the lugs, and then boom, it shoots right down into this nice taper for a thin band, which helps it wear correctly. I would say Detroit Mint, if you're listening, this is just a suggestion. I don't know if it's more money or less money. It seems to me like it would be less money, but I'm not putting watches together. On the bezel, insert. If you did an aluminum bezel insert and just don't put a raised pip in it, don't put, if you have to put lume, maybe consider doing the lume that you have, that everybody else has on this here, where the whole thing is loomed, or just do the triangle. You know what I'm saying? Just do the entire triangle with no pip. That might be enough to separate you from trying to make it too close to the Seiko. I don't know. But I'm actually getting tired of all of these ceramic bezel inserts. They look great. They're nice and clean and shiny. But all my watches have that now, and it's boring me. All right? Other than my actual Seiko. So let's get to that really quick. Because I wanted to point out, I think this is the, yes. So this is the actual new Seiko Willard. And you will see here, same domed style crystal. It is a sapphire crystal. You see the bevel to the edge of the crystal where it meets the bezel. And you can see the a little bit of a chamfer on the bezel itself. And we all know this is a much better watch. This is a Pro Specs. But again, you can see here that it has the aluminum bezel insert. Zoom out again here. Very similar case design. Obviously the one with the bracelet's heavier. This forward crown guard here is clearly smaller than on the Detroit Mint, and I think that is closer to what was on the original one. So I just wanted to point that out. I mean, this is an $1,100 watch. I didn't pay that. I think I got this for $750 with an extra band. All the boxes, all the paperwork, everything. To me, that was a stellar deal. This also has a screw down crown. It hacks. It winds. I mean, I don't see how you beat this watch. This one is definitely a keeper for me. But back to these, right? Here's my, I was wearing this and I really like this a lot. I didn't feel like I needed another watch, but I love this Willard design. I keep calling it that, but it's a Seiko copy, right? I love it. I think why did that stop? Oh, I didn't wind this morning. I set the day. I set this thing upside down earlier today. That is hysterical to me. So it is what, 9:15 in the morning, approximately. And we'll wind it. See if you can hear that. I don't know if you can hear that on mic. It's not very loud. But I thought for sure I did this before I left the house, but anyhow, you get to see how that works. I am now screwing down the crown. Thing about this one is you see that undercut here? I've shown this to you before. It just makes it a little bit easier to get to that with your fingertips. You'll see that on the Seiko as well. Nice detail, which you don't have on this here Detroit Mint. I think it does exist here on the bronze case. Yes, it does. Again, this is my favorite everyday. There's paint on this now. I was painting the last couple days. I'll get that off of there. But this is my everyday watch now. I just love this thing. Very pleased with this. I just like looking at it. Anyhow, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this mainly, right? The Detroit Mint. However, let's quickly get back to these. If you look at the turtle, right? So again, aluminum bezel insert and a flat crystal, not a domed crystal, right? Which, you get back to, where is it? You get back to these Chinese copies, and that's what you're closer to. You've got of course you have the coin edge on the bezel here, but it's a flat crystal. Now, look, sapphire crystal is beautiful. It's less scratch resistant compared to the Hardlex, right? But the Hardlex can take an impact without shattering. And that's why these are like a better tool watch, the actual Seiko with the Hardlex crystal. However, keep in mind, the new Willard here, the $1,100 watch, comes with a sapphire crystal. So, go figure. So I'm just saying, I haven't seen too many people say this. We all keep calling this the Willard copy of the 6105 from 1970. In reality, these are closer to the actual turtle. Slightly different design here with the crown guard. You can understand what I'm saying. Okay, so you can buy these all day long, and they're dirt cheap. And I've been buying them used, and I've been getting them very inexpensive, well under. I think this one was $52, and again, this one here is, excuse me, I got this for about $80 with the case, with an extra band. I'm very pleased with it. It looks pretty good. There's a few scratches on this underside. I don't understand. I guess this happens from people. They have the watch and they just lay it on a table somewhere and move it around in their watch collection. I guess that's how it happens, because I don't see how that would happen if it's actually on your wrist. But yeah, so far out of all my Captain Willard homages, this is the one that's closest to the original. I'm not sure what the movement is in here. I'm assuming it's an NH35, but it could be a Miyota. I'm going to have to look into that. You'll see these with on the dial where underneath the center there where the hands connect, it'll say 150 meter water resistance or whatever. And this one is sterile under that. This would be a really good candidate if you wanted to get a Seiko copy dial of the original 6105. Take this watch apart and put that in it, because the hands match, right? The arms there, the hour and minute arms, and it's got the right stoplight sweeping second hand. So yeah. I don't know if you can swap out the bezel. I don't know if you were to swap out the bezel, if it would fit on this. Or you know what you could do? I suppose I could take this bezel off and take out this ceramic insert and put an aluminum insert in there. With that and a new dial, this would be a pretty close clone that I'd be happy with. So maybe I don't need to buy that Redune. I believe the Redune has a 19 millimeter lug width, and that might be the main thing. I'm going to have to take another look at it. If the Redune already comes with the aluminum insert. The problem with the Redune is they haven't been out long enough for me to find a deal on a used one, and they're about $160 to $180 right now, new. And I'm trying to spend under $200. Excuse me. I'm trying to spend under $100 on any watch I buy right now. because I'm just finding these stellar deals on pre-owned watches. You know, people buy them because they're curious, they wear them a little bit, and then they sit there and they're not wearing them because they don't feel like it's worth it. And the funny thing to me is this is absolutely worth it. If you can get a watch like this for well under $100, just buy it. This could be your everyday watch. You don't have to worry about it. It looks awesome on the wrist. This Addy's Dive was it for me until I found the bronze version. And I just love this thing. So again, this is my everyday watch right now. And things are going to shift a little bit here with the leather band making and all that. And I've got the stuff coming, and that'll be fun. But I got to find the time to do it in between actual work. Again, the Detroit Mint here on your right, next to the genuine Seiko, the new reissue on the left. So I believe the Seiko has an AR coating, but it's not tinted. It would be a clear one. Versus the blue AR you can see here. You can see that blue there. Anyhow, you guys have a great day. I thought you'd get a kick out of this. More to come. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be good to one another.